Hello everybody. The undermanned Clippers were hanging close until the Warriors made a key adjustment in their defense. John Wall and Reggie Jackson were getting past the first man on the perimeter and causing the Warriors defense to collapse. Suddenly, bam, quick crossover. JK uses his athleticism to hang in there, but Clay does not trust, and he sinks in way off of his man to rotate, drive. John Wall makes a nice find, and that's a nice three. So the Warriors started the second quarter playing a zone defense. It's a 2-3 zone, and you can tell it's a zone and not man-to-man defense by seeing how the attackers get guarded. So when he cuts through and he's now in Draymond's territory, Draymond is checking him. But now that he threatens to get baseline, Draymond doesn't follow him. He says, "I believe you know my friend, Mr. Lamb," and he enters the territory of Anthony Lamb. So the cutter says, well, maybe we'll turn this into a pick and roll. So he leaves Lamlandia and goes through the Republic of Dre. Draymond does pick him up for a second. He says, whoa, he's in my territory. Woof, woof. But then as he continues to pass through, Draymond says, all right. And he continues to guard the zone because the entire point of this zone is to try to force the Clippers to shoot jumpers over the zone and to stop having their point guards is constantly attacking the basket and collapsing the defense. Here's the screen, and this player is threatening to dribble over here and shoot, but he's not going to be able to just drive into open space because Draymond's filling up that part of the court. The Clippers recognize it's a zone, and they're going to attack these top two men by putting three offensive people across the top. And then just by the logic of the zone, there's going to be somebody open. So in this case, Donte rotates over to stop this open pull-up three, which leaves Amir Coffey open. The Warriors choose to defend this by having Lamb rotate out to harass this wing shooter and just pray that he doesn't find this open corner man. He decides to attack this closeout. We have two players who've rotated to the corner, which leaves someone open at the top. That's a decent find. Any defense has to give up something, and the Warriors are taking their chances with turning the Clippers into a jump shooting team. Here, Draymond and Donte signaling to the whole team that they are going to stay in their zone. Two fingers is their symbol for 2-3 zone. Clippers can't completely agree on how to attack it. You see them all discussing it right now, and they seem torn between two options. One is by placing a man right in the middle of the zone. The other plan is to overload part of the zone. There's more negotiation here. Finally, they decide to put three men across the side here, and in zone there's only Wiggins in the corner there and Poole over here. Wiggins and Poole will be guarding these three men along the side, and one of them has to be open. The ball whips around. The ball is faster than any human, but if the human is Wiggins, he's pretty fast, and he does recover to the corner in time. So now that the overload approach didn't work right away, they're going to put in Batum right in the middle of the soft spot in the zone, and Draymond does challenge this jumper, but he doesn't seem all that sad that Batum is shooting a contested mid-range jumper. Playing a zone takes a lot of communication, especially in transition when all the matchups might be scrambled. Draymond here is directing traffic. He's pointing out that there's a man in the corner here. Donte is signaling, okay, I'm temporarily guarding this man, even though this is not usually my territory. He's waiting for Andrew Wiggins to catch up so that Wiggins can guard the back line. In the meantime, Draymond pointing out more attackers. He's saying, Lamb, you've got to cover. The Lamb comes out to cover Coffey. Donte is still using his hand to cast bad vibrations, saying, I'm temporarily holding you with the force until your proper guardian can arrive. He's still holding it. This is good communication. And Wiggins says, yeah, I'm coming as fast as I can. And finally, he releases him from his forced chokehold, and now Wiggins is back guarding this spot. And now Donte can take over being on the top of this 2-3 zone. The Warriors have not played that much zone this year, and a lot of these players are new, so you still see a lot of negotiating, more communication from Donte. He's pointing. There are two Clippers, and he even points down saying, okay, someone who should be guarding this position. The Warriors have stayed in zone for more than 2 whole minutes, so the Clippers have definitely come up with their idea of how to attack this. So here we have the 2 across the top, and Covington is going to come up and set a screen, this player to come over here. So in theory, if the Warriors maintain their 2-3 shape, there's an enormous hole right here, which will leave this shooter open. Confusing part is when this wing attacker leaves, does Lamb follow him or does he go back to his spot in the zone? Lamb is not sure, which is why he just ends up wandering around this general vicinity. But Draymond back here is saying, yo man, you got to come back and be this corner of the 2-3 zone. Don't worry, we'll handle it. And Draymond is pointing. Unfortunately, Lamb is looking this way, so he continues to just wander into the play. Draymond continues to yell at him. So finally, Draymond stomps his feet, and he's probably yelling even louder. And Lamb says, ooh, all right, fine. I'll go back to my position, but there's kind of a funny hole here. And the Clippers do exploit it. So here's the flare screen. Powell flares out. It's going to be a skip pass over the top. Draymond had been positioned over here to contain any kind of drive like this. Lamb had reluctantly wandered back into his position on the back corner of the 2-3 zone. Lamb seems to think he should stunt towards this wing person. Donte seems to think he should fight through this screen, and he just misses. As the Warrior, they're going to have to go back and look at the tape. The most important thing is that there be some scheme that they can all agree on at any one time. But that was a pretty good zone, considering Donte and Lamb are new to the team. And it wasn't glamorous, but this zone stymied the Clippers for the first part of the second quarter, which allowed the Warriors to ease out to a 9-point lead. And they would never really get threatened after that. You can't help looking at one more play, and Andrew Wiggins has an open 3, which takes a really weird spin. Let's examine Andrew Wiggins' body English, which certainly helped the ball go in. First, he's observing carefully, and he launches himself up, which is important because the body English he wants to impart on the ball is for the ball to go down through the basket. So Andrew throws himself down, but the ball keeps on going around, and Andrew, recognizing the effects of being in the Northern Hemisphere, realizes he has to give another burst of body English. Notice how he gives a little half twist this time to try to help the ball spin its way down the net. Counterclockwise, of course. The Coriolis effect. If this had been in Australia, then Wiggins would have had to put his body English clockwise. That's just science. And finally, Wiggins sees it goes through, and now he can uncoil and restore the Earth's normal rotation with his clockwise motion and his big 1,000,000-watt smile.